I remember the first, I think, 2 years,
Mm.
I drove all my clients' cars to Cairo. Cairo is a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
He puts in work. Niliuzia
Uh-huh.
jamaa fulani wa Mombasa. Na
Uh,
funny story,
uh-huh.
I've never met him up to date.
What do you mean?
Yes, that guy paid money. He told
Uh-huh.
me I've been following your page.
Uh-huh.
Akiwa Mombasa akatuma pesa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kenyan Dream podcast. My name is Felix Njogu and I'm so excited. This is episode 1 and I'm happy to have a friend of mine, a person I consider a brother, somebody I've known for practically half my life. Na his name is Tom Mutunga and karibu sana Tom.
Thank you.
Wewe ndio guest number 1 kwa podcast. So thank you so much for making time. We're recording on a Sunday, so thanks for taking time out of your day to be with us, and to hopefully we'll have a nice conversation about business building, family, and everything that we can squeeze in the space of the next maybe 1 hour or something. So thank you so much for making time. Karibu sana. So I've known you since we were in Form 1. That's more than 18 years ago. And during that time, I've seen you grow into this person who now I consider very successful and who's only scratching the surface when it comes to business building, growth, and all these things that people consider as signs of success. But I want to take you back to when we finished university. You had a job straight after uni, and then you, first of all, what did you study in uni? Just tell people.
I did Bachelor of
Mm-hmm.
Specialized in
Mm-hmm. And then what happened? Is a story.
After undergrad, I got a job in
Mm-hmm.
one of the leading banks in Kenya. Immediately after I think I'd applied for an internship, which I didn't get when I was in school. But upon completing college, they called me and told me that they're interviewing for a bank teller.
Mm-hmm.
And I went for the interview, got the job. Yes, na nikaingia kwa the banking industry.
For that's the dream for a lot of people who are in university. That's the dream. Like hukutamak, tunasema hukutamak.
Yes, sikutamak.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Sikutamak.
Uh-huh.
The tamaking I did sana ilikuwa college. College life was not very easy.
Can you use a bit less?
Yes. So we did a lot of sending out of our name CVs,
Mhm.
looking for internships, and
Mm.
actually that is how I landed my first job at the bank, because
Oh,
I sent
you are
those
constantly sending
CVs.
applications. Huh?
Yes, while in college.
Mhm.
So I did not get them when I was in college, but
Mm.
immediately I graduated. That is when I got a call from the bank on interview.
Do you know
So I
why
can say
you
sikutama.
do you know why you stood out? Why they called you, or it was just chance?
Mm, I think apart from the degree, I had done CPAs to some extent,
Mhm.
to CPA 4.
Mm.
Uh, my CV nilikuwa nimeongeza uzito kidogo,
Mhm.
co-curricular activities, leadership. roles at the university. I
Mm.
think those gave me a chance
Oh, nice, nice.
at the
Uh-huh.
interview.
Uh-huh. So they called you, and then you went. How long did you stayed at the bank?
Okay, first, after I did the interview, they gave me, they told me I'll be working from Mombasa,
Oh wow. Uh-huh.
which, yes, they told me they were filling in for someone who had left a branch in Mombasa,
Mm.
which nilikataa.
Mm-hmm.
Nikasema, okay, I didn't want to go to Mombasa because nilikuwa nimezoea maisha sana ya Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
Na sikukataa sana sana juu ya ni Mombasa. There was something I was doing on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was looking for a reason not to go for the job.
Mm-hmm.
So wenye waliniambia naenda Mombasa, nikawambia Mombasa itakuwa ngumu.
Mm-hmm.
Nikauliza kama they can look for an opening Nairobi, which the HR akaniambia
uh-huh.
which the HR akaniambia they will try and look for an opening in Nairobi
Mm-hmm.
and call back. Mi nikajua tu HR ameona this guy ndo amemaliza
Yeah.
college na akona maringo hiyo,
Yeah,
acha
that's what I'm saying.
akae.
You realize how crazy that is? Like for a person who's just finishing fourth year, how crazy it is for you to be saying for you to be giving the HR conditions that Miss Yendi Mombasa. Do you know how crazy that
Ah,
is?
that's crazy. Hata
Mm.
when I look back,
Mm.
hey, if I was now in my position, if
Mm-hmm.
I was hiring someone na aniambie hivyo, I would have ningeiona is not hataki
Hataki
job,
kazi.
is not so
Hataki
passionate
kazi.
about the work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So hata nashangaa how they called me later to offer me
Oh.
a job
Mm-hmm.
at the city center, not even at Upper Hill, city center.
Mm. Mm.
So that's how I began my job at the bank,
Mm.
which did not last long.
Mm-hmm.
Which did not last long.
Because of this
I
thing
basically
else.
lasted 6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because of the what I was doing on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't know. It's just me. When I went there,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the people who were ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
I went there as a teller.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at our operations manager. I looked at our manager, the what do we call him? The branch manager. I basically looked around
Mm-hmm.
how things were going around the
Mm-hmm.
bank,
Mm-hmm.
and from long I believed in doing something from on my own, but I
Mm-hmm.
did not know how to start it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a business person, do something, create employment, but coming straight from campus, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You are limited in terms of resources, in terms of knowledge,
Yeah, that's true.
experience. So I can say my 6 months at the bank,
Yeah.
they were not a waste. Basically, when I went to the bank, the
Mm-hmm.
first week I decided to resign.
Oh
The
yeah,
first week,
I remember us
because
having that conversation. Yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because I was used to being my own boss.
Uh-huh.
I was used to knowing what the effort I put will be directly proportional to what I
Whatever
get.
you get, whatever you're making.
Yes, yeah,
Uh-huh.
whatever I'm making.
Uh-huh.
But when you are employed,
It's a fixed
the
salary.
salary is fixed.
Oh. So
You are not your own boss.
mm-hmm. So you decide
So
mhm. You decide that you're only going to stay there for a short while.
yes, actually, I don't know who convinced me to wait until I'm confirmed. because
Mhm.
I was going to resign right away, even before my first salary. But
Oh,
someone
wow.
told me to hold on because I went there.
Mhm.
I was not confirmed. I went
Mm.
there as I had a probation period of
Uh-huh.
around 6 months.
Yeah.
I was to be on a probation. Then after the probation, that is when I was confirmed
Mhm.
as a staff, and
Mhm.
that is when I was to enjoy the benefits that come with an employee of the bank. So someone
Oh.
convinced me and told me, "You resign,
Mhm.
you would have wasted your time because you cannot put in your CV you worked at that bank when you
Oh.
are not yet confirmed.
Oh, do you remember who that person
Then
was?
they not give, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know whether it's you or
No, it's not
Timothy.
me. I
Uh,
don't think it's me.
it
This
wasn't
corner,
you. I think it
this
was
corner,
Timothy.
that level of wisdom.
Eh,
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh.
then also I when at the bank when
Mm.
we joined, we were
Mm.
being given somebody we call a buddy.
Uh-huh.
A buddy is someone who helped you to
Mhm.
cope, to blend into the bank,
Uh-huh.
showed you
Somebody's been there
around.
for a while.
Uh, yes, yes. I got a
Mm.
lady by the name Vera. She was
Mhm.
my buddy,
It's
and
not
I
Vera
shared
Sidika,
with
is it?
her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I shared with her
Mhm.
what I felt about
Mm.
leaving the bank,
Mm. Mm.
and she also told me to wait a bit, to hold on.
Oh.
Eh, nione kama I'll cope. Maybe she
Mm.
thought ilikuwa ni hiyo pressure because
Mhm.
bank inakuwa na pressure mob.
Mhm.
Kwenda job ilikuanga 7. By 7
Mm.
you are there.
Mhm.
You leave very late. Banks close at 4, but you can leave the bank at 7, balancing your cash
Mm.
box,
Mhm.
doing the back office stuff. So
Mm.
there was a
Mm.
lot of pressure. So I think she thought it was pressure that was
Mm.
making me maybe resign.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. So I shared with her,
Mhm.
and she told me to hold on a bit.
Mm.
It's funny. I wrote my resignation the first month. Nilikuwanga kwa
Oh,
desk for
draft.
all that time. Yes.
Uh-huh.
It actually
Uh,
nilitengeneza and I shared it with my buddy.
mhm.
Kaniambia Tom, watu
Mhm.
wanatafuta hii kazi na wewe unataka kutoka.
I know.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, hiyo time ukitoka campus kila mtu na the bank was paying very well
Uh-huh.
for someone who has just left campus.
For an entry level
It was
job.
a lot of money.
Mm.
Yes, for an
Do
entry
you care
level
to
job,
reveal?
it
You want
was
to reveal how much it
paying.
was?
Mm, it was around 69K
69 after taxes.
gross.
Oh, gross.
No,
But still,
gross.
for 10 years ago, an entry level job, that was good.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So you are remaining with more than 50,000, and that
Yeah.
was long ago,
Mm.
2015.
Yeah.
That money was good.
Mm.
It was good money.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just wrote the description nikaiweka hapo because I
Mm.
knew
Mm-hmm.
there was what I was doing on the sides,
Yeah.
and there is what I was thinking of doing, something for
Oh,
myself, beginning
okay.
maybe a hustle, a
Mm-hmm.
business. I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea of what I
But
wanted to start,
but you
but
wanted to do something.
I wanted to start something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure. So
Mm-hmm.
what I was afraid most
Mm-hmm.
about staying at the bank
Mm.
was, you get to a point of no return
Oh yeah, when
when
you
you're
yeah
employed. There are
yeah yeah.
decisions you can make at the employment place
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that inafanya umee mizizi.
Oh yeah.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
if I had stayed
Mm-hmm.
and maybe taken a mortgage,
Oh
that
yeah.
meant you can't leave,
You
or take a
okay.
big loan,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
unapata unamea mizizi. So that's why nilifikiria nitoke because
Mm.
I had something that would sustain me on the sides Nitoke, I go continue with what I was doing as I figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
So you send, once they confirm you, you send in your resignation.
Yes, that is how the bank operates. You first you send the resignation to the HR and you deliver a hard copy to
Oh,
HR through your branch manager.
oh, the HR hayuko
So,
branch, ako head office.
ako head office. So you first send a resignation via mail. Then to confirm whether you are the one who sent that resignation, you send a signed one. Isikuwe ni mtu ametuma bana.
I have heard
You send
stories.
it.
I have heard stories of where toxic work environments where you leave your computer unattended without having signed out, and then somebody comes in and sends in a resignation letter on your behalf.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. That happens. So they had a policy, you send it soft copy, then you send another one through the branch manager. So the branch manager will have to sign on that letter, I think. So that day, I was called by the branch manager to give me the good news of my confirmation as a permanent employee, pensionable. So I got the letter, nikaenda kwa desk, I went through my resignation letter and nikaituma immediately, nikaituma kwa HR. Then I printed it na nikaipeleka kwa the branch manager.
Same day.
Nikaiweka kwa same day. I don't know what was going through my mind. I think I had made up my mind na nilikuwa I don't know. Same day I got that letter. That's the same day I sent my resignation letter. Nikaipeleka. The branch manager was not there. Aliona the following day. And
on his
he
desk.
was so disappointed. Yes, on his desk. He was so disappointed because the previous day when he was giving me my confirmation letter, we had a talk with him. And he told me how he saw a very good future for me at the bank. Because when you go to the bank, we have so many places that you can work in. We have the teller line, we have the customer service, we have so many places that you can work in. So I did not stick to the teller line. I would basically do everything at the branch. I would hold in for the person mwenye alikuanga kwa customer service when they are not there. So I had known my way around the bank.
And I can
to Vera.
And I can also attest to that. I think you would have been very successful in banking because you're very driven, you're very smart, and you're very diligent. So I have no doubt that you would have lasted, and the branch manager would obviously have seen that during your internship or your probation period. So I'm sure kuna kitu alikuwa ameona. Maybe he had even thought this is where once you get confirmed, he would want you to go.
Yeah. I think even though I had planned to resign, I did not give the bank a raw deal. Actually, the only person who knew, during the time I was there, I knew I was going, but you would not tell. I came to the bank early. I was driven. I would not show an attitude of I'm here for a short period of time. I didn't do that. Actually, the only person who knew about my resignation was my buddy. Nobody else knew. I worked normally. I worked normally. Attended every activity that was given by my boss diligently until the last day. So I think the manager saw my hard work, diligence, because he was telling me I would not last very long at the teller line. He wanted me to be after the teller, you become a cash officer. Cash officer, now you are in charge of the other tellers. You are in charge of the vault where the money is kept. You balance all the math, the bank. You are the one who gives cash to the tellers, and you are given more responsibilities. And he saw me being a very good cash officer. So the following day, when he came and got the resignation, well, he was so disappointed, and he wondered why I never told him. Actually, I gave an excuse why I wanted to resign. I told them I wanted to go and do my master's, which I did, but I didn't go for the master's immediately. So I had to give a reason for me leaving the bank, because even asked whether it's the pay, whether it's the work environment. They have to ask those questions, why you are resigning just immediately after being confirmed. So my reason was I was going to advance in my studies, then I would come back once I'm through with my studies.
So
That's how I
they
left.
said you could come back. Did they say that you can come back? What did they say?
Yes, the branch manager told me after you've done with your studies, you can always reapply and come back.
Oh, okay. So you leave, and then what do you do next?
Okay, the living, it may seem it was very easy. It wasn't that easy because you know those 6 months umeanza kuzoea kitu ingine, umeanza kuzoea an assured income every month. For 6 months, you know you have your salary, you are getting out of the bank to go. Though I was doing that hustle that I was doing, I was doing writing, academic, article. That was what I was doing on the sites. I was leaving the bank to go back to that, as I also figure out what else I can do with my life. So it was not very easy. I remember my last salary, I bought a laptop. Ndio niingie kwa biashara vizuri ya the writing, the online writing.
So online
I
writing
bought a laptop.
ilikuwa appealing.
Yeah, it was appealing. It was appealing then. It was good money for someone who has just left campus without so many responsibilities. You are just the normal one, rent, vitu kidogo kidogo. So it was appealing for someone who was just beginning life. And it was a very good starting point. Because I normally say, if I did not have this side hustle, writing, maybe ninge-stick to the bank. Singekuwa where
and even
the writing gives you writing gives you somewhere to start from.
It's and also when you are talking about your conversations with the bank about you not wanting to go to Mombasa, I feel like you had some leverage. Like
yes, I had something that I was doing. I was not very desperate for a job. Of course, I wanted a job because kulikuwa na hiyo naita kasumba, like you go to school, some you get a good job.
Kasumba.
Kwanza I resigned. I never told my parents.
Yeah, and that's something I've always wanted to ask you. Like, come on, did you? I know you're very close with your dad. Uh, when did the
Yes.
conversation happen? When did you tell him that you've left the bank?
I think more than a month after
Oh,
I
a
had
month.
resigned, because I
Uh huh.
knew,
Mm-hmm.
yes, a month after I had resigned,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew when he would not
Approve.
encourage me to resign,
Mm.
and he would not approve it, because
Mm.
you are here, your son amemaliza shule na amepata kazi kwa bank where all the money is.
All the money is kept.
Yes, where all the money is kept. And akiwa na wazee wenzake anawaambia, my son is working at the bank
Works at this
in
bank.
Nairobi.
Yeah.
Yes, hizo ni
Mm-hmm.
bragging rights. So
Unanyang'anya bragging rights.
yes, akiwa na wazee wakikunywa chai ya jioni mahali wakielezeana mahali watoto wao wako.
Uh-huh.
But amia na resign, I would not have told him. Singemwambia. So
Uh,
nilimwambia after
mm,
I've resigned na
mm,
after nimestabilize sasa kwa hii ya writing.
mm, mm,
That is when now nilimwambia nilishatoka bank.
mhm.
Hata hiyo time after nimeresign nilikuwa aniambia niende nyumbani, nakaa tu ni kama anaenda job, namwambia nimeshikana job ni
But yeah, I'm only available on the weekends.
on the weekends. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you continue doing this online writing, and that goes
Yes.
on for a while, and eventually now you transition to what you're doing now. So maybe you should have even say this at the introduction. What do you currently do?
I'm a car dealer. I do importation of cars
Mhm.
from Japan, Europe, South Africa. Yeah, I basically do direct importation of cars.
So
And
uh-huh.
I started as a sole, like I only did direct importation on order when I started.
Mm,
But currently I stock some vehicles, moja mbili tatu,
mm.
for the local customers.
So how did that happen? What how did you find yourself becoming a car dealer? Did it happen at
Mm. Yeah, that happened. That was in 2017. 2017. But before 2017, 2016, end of 2016, that was when I bought my first car. Subaru.
Yes.
Subaru Impreza.
The famous KCJ.
KCJ 141P.
Uh-huh.
And I think
Uh-huh.
that car, that is what gave birth to my passion for cars. The fact that
Ulikuwa
I
unapenda hiyo
bought that
gari.
car.
Mhm.
Sana. I even know where it is right now. I sold it, but sahii najua mahali iko. Yeah, nilikuwa napenda hiyo gari sana, and it taught me a lot about cars. Nikapata passion ya magari. The time I was buying that car, I knew nothing about cars. Actually, si tulienda na nyinyi na Timo.
Yeah.
Timothy knew a lot about cars.
Yeah, Timo's always been a car guy. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know anything. I was very green. Timo and Isaac, hao ndo watu walikuwa wanajua magari. Isaac angeona tail lights za gari akwambia hiyo ni gari gani.
Hiyo time wewe ulikuwa unajua.
Was that good? Mimi hakuna kitu nilikuwa najua. Sikuwa najua anything. That's why niliwa tag along. Na wewe ulikuwa umenunua yako a week before. I think a week or two.
Yeah. It was like 2 weeks apart.
Because it was a KCJ. Yeah, 2 weeks apart. So I think that car in 2016, buying that car is what got me here. So kwa ile debate ya kununua gari ama kununua shamba is your first asset. Mimi niliamua nisitembee
Ulisema nunua gari ya kwenda kutafuta
and it
shamba.
got me here. Yeah. So
Mm,
I think
mm,
I made the right choice then. And that is what gave birth to my passion for cars.
mm,
I would go online, do a lot of research, the
mm,
magari,
mm,
look around, car exporters from Japan.
mm,
Then 2017, that is when I imported my first two cars. They were my own personal cars then.
mm, mm,
A Demio, I think, and a Honda Fit.
mhm,
I imported them for resale.
mm,
I sold one did not sell.
mm.
And I think I sold you that one, Honda Fit.
There's a car, I think, what was it? Did
For
you sell it
your,
to me? Uh,
yes, I think it's
oh,
was it your mom?
I can't remember, but I remember. Yeah, I think so. I think a Honda Fit. I don't know whether you're the
Honda
one who sold it
Fit,
to
yes.
me.
It's
Yeah,
me, I
but I
remember.
remember. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, a KCN. Mm, mm,
Yes, it was a KCN.
mm,
I think I sold you. Hiyo
mm,
ingine ikakataa kuuza. The car
mm,
market is so tough,
mm,
especially for newbies. So I
mm,
didn't know how to market it.
mhm,
Nilikuwa naipack tu hapo mahali nakaa,
mm,
naisukuma kwa Facebook kidogo.
mm.
It did not sell. I
So,
eventually turned it into some business, Uber business. So those were my
so,
first two cars, and they were my
mm.
personal cars.
So you had some extra money from your online writing work, and you figured I can use this money to make more money. I can bring in cars and sell them. That
Yes.
was the genesis, right?
Yeah, that was the genesis of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was out of savings
Mm-hmm.
from the academic writing, the writing that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about what I can begin
Mm-hmm.
with that money.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I bought my first car,
Mm-hmm.
niingia kwa biashara ya ilikuwa biashara gani? Nilikuwa mkulima for some 3 months na nikapigwa character development. So
That's a
this
whole
time
story.
round, I decided, yeah, that's a very long story.
A traumatic story.
So I decided to do traumatic.
Yes. Yeah.
Tuliuzwa somo na Nairobi.
Yes.
So
Mm.
niliamua this time round,
Mm.
I try something different.
Mm.
Because nilikuwa nimejaribu ya ukulima nikaona
Mm.
hapo it's tricky. I didn't know much about it.
Mm.
Na nikachomeka sana, so nikaamua let me try something else. So that's when I imported my first two cars, and I used a Japanese exporter then niletea. Nikaleta, I sold one, the other one didn't sell, but hiyo passion ikuisha. Now when I did not sell that one car, that is when I changed my strategy. Because when I began, I was buying to resell. So in my thinking, I wanted to build capital from there and begin importing cars and selling them. So nikakuja nikakaa na that one car. First month, the second month, the car is not going. The number plates are moving. Then we were at KCN. Tushatoka KCN, tumeenda next. The car has not been sold. Niko na ile mzee. Ni mzee kwa namba, lakini the car has not been used. So ndo nikafikiria hii nikiendelea hivyo nitakuwa nauza gari mbili kwa mwaka. Na itakuwa inaniholdia a lot of capital. In-hold capital, na the returns they were not that much. So ndio nikafikiria naweza start a model where I do direct importation on order. So that if you want a car, I source it for you, I import it using your cash, so that I don't have to have stock that is not moving.
Oh yeah, so unaleta gari
So,
when the client is already available.
yes, I look for the client first.
Mhm.
When I get the client, that is when I import that car.
And
It was a tough model.
yeah, it's a very because I remember when you started it, I could not understand what you were doing because in my mind I thought
Mm,
you need to have the car here first and then look
mm,
for a buyer. I didn't see how people will be willing to like give you their money, and
mm.
it sounded crazy to me. But you are on. It seems like you are onto something because now here you are. How many years later? What 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 made you believe that it's possible?
Uh, you know, business is all about trust. And I wanted to build some trust
Mm-hmm.
around this direct import thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I started,
Mm-hmm.
it was tough to convince someone out there who didn't know you that they can give you their money
Mm-hmm.
to import them a car.
Mm-hmm.
A car they've not seen physically,
Mm-hmm.
a car they don't know whether it will be roadworthy.
Mm-hmm.
You can also be given money, you go missing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a tough model.
Mm-hmm.
But I believed I could build some trust
Mm-hmm.
over time. I was not
Mm-hmm.
in a hurry because
Oh
remember I had
wow.
that side hustle.
Oh
This was
yeah,
just
yeah.
something I was beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not have a problem not even selling a car in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Even selling a single car in 3 months was progress for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I began by importing cars for people who knew me,
So
friends.
the people around you.
The friends would refer me to their friends,
Mm-hmm.
uh, family friends at home.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I build trust. Because when you import a car for a friend,
Mm-hmm.
you'll go meet their friend whom you don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Na
Mm-hmm.
watauliza hii gari ulinunua wapi?
Mm-hmm.
They will tell them about me.
Mm-hmm.
They will come, I import the car for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that building of trust, it took
Mm-hmm.
time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's what grew my business to where it is today.
So two things I want to pick on. You said it was tough to convince people that they can buy a car that they have not seen. There's a lot of, I feel like even today you have to do a lot of client education, and I think a lot of businesses that are in such markets have to do a lot of client education where you educate them about how the car importation market works, for them now to see your value and for them to be able to trust you. Do you talk a little bit more about that client education and what or how you do it?
Yeah, yeah. Client education is very important
Mm-hmm.
because if the customer are not, they don't know how you are going to import that car. It's very hard for them to trust you with their money.
Mm-hmm.
You have to involve the client in the process
Mm-hmm.
from the first day.
Mm-hmm.
From the first day they give you their money, you have to
Mm-hmm.
give them the process, the
Mm-hmm.
timings,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep to your word. If you tell them it's 30 days, make it 30 days. If anything happens, communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is very key. You have to be in constant communication with the client because remember they've given you their money. If you give someone your money and they go silent on you,
Mm-hmm.
you will be
It's a
very
problem.
worried about your money. It's,
It's a
it's a
problem.
problem, yes. So you
Mm-hmm.
have first to, when you meet that client,
Mm-hmm.
a potential client, you have to tell
Mm-hmm.
them how it works. Where you
Mm-hmm.
begin from the sourcing of the car,
Mm-hmm.
you get in the
Mm-hmm.
car being inspected from the country of origin, because one of the biggest concerns that I had then was the client asking, how are they assured that the car will be in good condition? That was something that was
A
tough.
concern.
So you had to educate them that cars are inspected by the government, Kenyan government, before they leave Japan or
The Kenya
any
Bureau of
other country
Standards.
of origin.
Yeah.
Yes, through the Kenya Bureau of Standard, they contract an agent there to do inspection on behalf of the Kenyan government. So there is no way that an unroadworthy car can get its way into the country
Into the
if the
Kenyan
car
market.
has been inspected. So that is something you had to teach your clients. You had to also give them how the process from the inspection, after the inspection, how the car is shipped, how the car is deregistered, because you have to deregister the car from the country of origin. You have to share the certificate of the registration or the export certificate. Those are things that you share with the client, so that the client may at least be at ease, and they should, so that they can also be aware of the process. Something else we also had to teach the client is the duty payment, because many didn't know how duty is paid for the cars.
Or
Those
even
cars come
calculated.
in the name of the client. Yes. So you had to take them through the calculation of duty, how various cars, how duty is calculated for various cars. So that customer education was very key.
Yeah, that's so. Okay.
For us, creating trust.
And the other thing I think you did perfectly. I don't know whether it's something you thought about, or ilikuwa just instinct. You created a brand. You created your company name, and you built a brand around it. Was that, I don't know whether that was a conscious decision or it was instinct, but you did a lot of brand building, and I remember you, even online, you used to use a certain hashtag, Grande Delivers. Do you still use that?
Yes, I still use that from the onset. I can say it was a conscious decision, because when we were beginning this conversation, we began with me at the bank. There's so much that I learned there from the bank. How they managed their social media, how they treated their customers. The bank that I was at was very particular on customer satisfaction. We used to joke around that ni kama slogan ya hii bank ni bora mzigo ifike. Yeah, they were so punda achoke lakini bora mzigo ifike.
Bora
The
the client
mzigo
is
ifike
happy.
is the customer satisfaction. Bora the client is happy. They were so key on customer satisfaction.
Yeah, and I still bank with them, and they're still very good at that even to date. I still bank with them.
I also bank with them. My company account is there. My personal accounts are there. They were very key on customer satisfaction. And that is something that I thank God that I was there. I learned that. The 6 months that I spent at the bank were key in what Grande is today. Because I was taught a lot about management. When at the bank, they used to do trainings, paid trainings on leadership, on customer satisfaction, and I think that was very key on how I began my business. So yes, the branding that I was doing was cautious. It's something that I thought about. The name, actually, how the name came about, it was funny. We brainstormed the names with a cousin of mine.
Yeah.
I'll give him a shout out. He's Victor.
Yeah.
He
Shout
was
out
at my
Victor.
place.
Mm-hmm.
And we were with him and several guys there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I told them, nimeanza kuimport gari, but I don't have a name. Because my first two cars and my first two clients, I did not have a name.
Mm-hmm.
I imported a Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, I want you to help me to brainstorm a name.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up with several names.
Mm-hmm.
The name Grande, the person who suggested Grande Motor Imports
Yeah.
was Victor, a cousin of mine.
Oh,
Asema
nice,
tu
nice.
Grande,
Uh-huh.
nikamalizia Grande Motor Imports.
Uh-huh.
And immediately, the same day we brainstormed, nikafungua a Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
And the same week, I did a name registration. And luckily, there was nobody who was using that name.
Does it have a meaning? Grande. Grande, because Miss Grande just sounds like something big.
Yes, something huge.
Uh-huh.
Something big. I believe Grande, we are huge on so many things. Customer satisfaction, vehicle quality. So Grande has a meaning. Grande means something huge. Yes.
And so I remember you went very heavy on social media marketing. Really, I remember you were one of the first people I ever saw doing sponsored Facebook ads, paid Facebook ads. Do you remember your first client from that type of marketing? Do you remember the first client ulipata that was not a friend or a family friend or a friend of a friend, somebody who just came and said, shika pesa, and they don't know you?
Yes, I remember very well. And I was very shocked because, first of all, I'm doing this as a side hustle. I don't have an office. I was working from home. Then someone comes and they tell me they've seen my company on Facebook. And they've been following me for quite some time. That they just bumped into it. They had seen my adverts for quite a long time. I would post a car. After some weeks, I post it as sold. I post a client that I'm delivering the car to. So they followed the page for some time, and they saw the consistency. That is what they told me. So they saw the consistency, and they decided it's me. I bought their first car for.
And that's very profound for you to say, because sorry for cutting you short, but they said it's not
inapita.
Ni ndege unaishi karibu na airport.
Nasikia background noise.
Unaishi karibu na airport siku hizi.
Ya nini? Airport ya train.
There's a train station nearby.
It's a train. And Ruiru.
Ile place tu?
Nakaa Ruiru. The same place. Though nili move. Niko hapo as you enter Ruiru.
Okay. So I'm saying, so this client comes and says, "Seti ameona post yako leo." It's something they have followed for a while. So
they've been following.
Conversion of clients can take a while. So you have to be consistent.
It can take years. So you have to be consistent. Don't expect you start your online marketing today and reap out of it
tomorrow
immediately. It takes patience. Keep pushing those posts. Someone is watching. Someone is following what you're doing. Yes. So they come. They want me to import the car. Nawambia me at a sita ofisi, we met at a cafe. And they paid for a car. It was so fun. It was even me putting myself in their shoes.
It
It
was
was
crazy.
hard,
It's crazy.
crazy, because this is someone you've never met, someone you've just been following on social media. They come and you want them to import you a car,
And do you remember
and
what
you
car
are
it
paid
was?
upfront. It was a Honda Fit.
And they paid everything upfront.
They paid everything upfront, everything.
Wow, 100%.
I could not believe it. I could not believe it.
So na ni
But
gari ipi ulikuwa umeleta, ni gari sasa you start sourcing.
Ni gari is a car identified. Nilikuwa nimeipost. Actually nilikuwa nimeipost the same week. Nilikuwa nimeidentify na nikaipost. Luckily, the time they were coming to pay, the car was still available. Yeah. Hiyo time as I was starting, I was using the Japanese exporters sana. Because I had not sikuwa nimemea mizizi sana, so that I could buy cars straight from the auction. So I was getting cars sana from the Japanese exporters. So I confirmed the car was still available. I bought it, and I began the importation process for the client.
How long did the whole process take, if you can remember?
The process took around 45 to 50 days there.
Na ukadeliver vizuri.
Yes. Yeah, it was tough then because, I was importing the car for them, but I had little control on the ship I was getting. Remember, I was going through a Japanese exporter. So I was at the mercy of the exporter
Just
about the timelines. But luckily, yes, they delivered the car as we had agreed. So within 45, 50 days, the client had the car. They were very happy. They could not believe it also, that the car was here. Same chassis I had shared. Everything about the car was the same as I had shared.
And how then, since how has the business progressed since your time up to now? Like, can you estimate how many cars have you sold now?
There are so many. There are so many. Actually, I was looking at my statistics about the cars that I import. I normally double. As of I double. If this year I bring 10, next year 20, 40. Like last year I was just shy of 40 cars direct importation.
Direct importations.
Yes.
Oh, that's profound.
Yes.
And
Hizo ni gari mingi.
It's a lot of cars, because even getting one client per week is, in the car business, I know can be tough. So when you're saying 40 cars, it means literally every week unauza gari. Direct importation.
Yes, every week. Yes. And there are cars I delivered. And the clients were satisfied. This year has been very good. And I hope I'm going to double what I did next year.
You hope you're going to double, because you're still building the brand.
Yes, I'm still building the brand.
There's a conversation I once brought to you, and we never really extended it much, but I was asking you about expanding the business as a possibilities. Whether you've ever considered, like, having something like a car yard, bringing on external investment into your company. Is that a route that you envision your company going towards?
Yes, that's something I've been thinking about. Though I wanted first to build the brand
Mm-hmm.
before I bring any external, someone who is coming to invest in the business. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted first to build it
Mm-hmm.
to some level
Mm-hmm.
before I call people to invest, or maybe we partner. Hapa
Mm-hmm.
kule. It's something I've been thinking about
because
lately.
because because I know it can be tough for you because some of the work that you have put in is hard to quantify. Because I remember there are times you are making like 3 trips to Mombasa a week just to check
Yeah,
on cars. Talk a little about that. The blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into this. I can call it your child. Talk a little bit about
yeah,
the level of resilience that you need to have to be able to sustain a business for this long and so, yeah, just talk a little bit about that.
yeah. Building a business is it's hard.
Mm,
It's hard. Remember, when you're starting a business, you are everything. You are
mm,
the person who is doing marketing.
mm,
You are the person who is doing logistics. Uh, you do everything for the client. Even if you outsource something like maybe clearing, the customer doesn't know the clearing agent.
mm,
You have to do some things yourself. You have to
mm,
go to Mombasa to make sure everything is going as planned.
mm,
You have to make sure the agent is doing the right thing, because you
mm,
cannot give an excuse that the agent is delaying you.
mm,
So you have to put in a lot of work, a
mm,
lot of work. You can't give clients excuses. Yes, I would
mm,
make so many trips to Mombasa. SGR,
mm,
of course,
mm,
SGR, Basi. Uh, that time,
mm,
I remember the first, I think, 2 years,
mm.
I drove all my clients' cars to Nairobi.
Yeah,
Your time, I
drive
would not trust
yourself
anybody with a client's car.
yourselves. Mm,
Myself,
mm,
yes, myself, all clients' cars. I think
mm,
nikutoka last year but one ndio nimeanza,
mhm,
nimepata a very reliable driver,
mm,
na is someone mwenye tumework naye for long, for me to
mm,
trust them with
mm,
customers' cars.
mm,
I'll drive all the cars from Mombasa
mm,
to
mhm.
Nairobi.
Yourselves.
Sometimes the agent anakuambia it's ready,
Mm,
unaenda unapata the
mm.
car is not ready.
So you have
Saa
to
hizo
wait.
umeenda hujabeba mguu hata moja for change.
Yeah.
So you have to stay there and wait for the car to be cleared,
Mhm.
to get the number
Mm,
plates, ndio
mm,
nipande nayo. So you
mm,
put in a lot of work,
mm,
because as you start, you can't
mhm.
afford to hire someone
Mm,
to help you. You have
mhm.
limited resources.
Yes, that's true.
So those resources,
Mhm.
you substitute them with blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, yes.
So you have to put in a lot of work. Yes.
And that's why does that make it now tough for you to take on external investment? Because somebody will come and say, just because I'm offering you this much money, I want uh maybe 30% of your business or 20%. Does it make that blood, sweat, and tears? Does it make it harder? Does it make the conversation that much harder? Ukikumbuka how much you've put into the business.
Yes, it makes the conversation tough. At least I know what I put into the
Mm,
business.
mm,
Um, uh, Something that you cannot quantify
mm.
in money terms.
Yes.
What I've done, the trust that I've built up to this moment, is something that you cannot quantify it monetarily.
Mm,
So someone come in with money and telling me I want 30% of
mm,
the company,
mm,
it will be a tough conversation.
mm,
And they should not come and look down upon what I've done just because they have the money.
mm,
At the point I am, it's
mhm,
not that the business is in dire need of external cash.
mhm,
The external cash will come to expand,
mm.
maybe to expand and to venture into something else that I've not been doing. Because for direct
Ah,
importation, I don't need money for direct importation. If I'm
Ah,
doing if I'm doing 80 cars a year, direct importation on order,
you
I don't
probably
need
don't need
anybody's money
external
to do
funds.
that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes.
Ah.
If someone is coming, we
Mm-hmm.
are trying something else different,
Mm-hmm.
bringing stock.
Mm-hmm.
Lakini hii sasa ya direct importation,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I've already built trust
Mm-hmm.
around, something
Mm-hmm.
I don't need capital to do.
Ah,
So yes,
that's
the
okay.
effort that I've put so far makes the conversation harder when
Mm.
that time comes.
Speaking of hard, tuonge kuhusu KRA.
Yes.
KRA, how has mm, I know taxes za magari zimekuwa zikiongezwa year on year almost. How has that affected the car importation business over the last few years?
Yeah, well, the tax system in our country, it's hard to understand
Mm,
because they change those rates anyhow.
mm,
It's not something that you are prepared for.
mhm,
There's something we call CRSP. That's the amount that every car imetagiwa. The
mhm,
CRSP is what you depreciate yearly to
mm,
get the custom value. You
mm,
use the custom value to get the import duty, the excess duty, and the VAT.
mm,
That is what you use the custom value.
mm,
So if they increase the CRSP,
mhm,
it means the custom value will be high, the
mm.
duty will be high, the excess duty will be high, the VAT will be high, the overall taxes for that car will be high.
So they've been
So
increasing the CRSP.
yes, the CRSPs are reviewed every now and then, and the reviews, the
Mhm,
reviews are not publicly announced.
mm,
So it's up to you
mhm,
as the car importer
mhm,
to be in touch with KRA officials
mhm.
to get the reviews that they've made. So
Oh. Uh-huh.
you find that if a client is importing a car for themselves, it's so hard to
Mhm,
know the duty for that car. You
mm.
cannot trust the CRSPs that you get online on the KRA
The
site.
online calculator on their website is not
No, you can't
does not
trust.
tally with what you'll be given
No,
at the
no, no,
office.
no.
Uh,
Uh-uh.
uh-huh.
So they do internal reviews of cars.
Uh-huh.
Unapata gari ilikuwa imepewa CRSP ya 3M,
Mhm.
imepanda ikakuwa 4 million.
Wow.
It's up to you to look for those additional CRSPs
Mm,
from guys at the port, the KRA guys
mhm,
at the port.
mm,
Hao ndio wanajua the CRSPs as they change. So unapata it's tough. It's tough.
mm,
You have to be on your toes
mhm,
because when we are quoting for clients, we
mm,
quote the approximate duty.
mm.
So if I quote a client duty, then he come in change with 100,000,
The client will not understand.
150. The client will not understand
Mm,
unless it's a policy yenye
mhm.
imeanzwa na government. Kama the other day, the government reviewed the import duty from 25 to 35. Such a client
Percent.
can understand.
Mm.
The government also reduced the depreciation for a good month car from 70% to 65.
So that also affects the final
So
price.
yeah, also that affects the final price. So
Mm,
it means if they reduce the depreciation, it
mm,
means that the CRSP
mhm,
itadepreciatiwa na 70% as before.
mm.
It will be depreciated by 65. That is the
So
maximum
so
depreciation.
oh, wow.
So it
Wow.
means the
So
custom value will
uh-huh.
be more.
Will be
uh,
higher by 5% or more,
by 5%, yes.
which
That
which
affects
which for
the
a
total duty.
oh, wow.
For a big
So
car,
uh-huh.
that's a lot of money
Yeah,
because there are cars
because
of men that are affected.
For a
Mfano gari
car
imeongeza
worth
200,000.
na 200,000 for a car worth maybe like 5 million might be quite a lot of money.
Yes, a car worth 5 million. Okay, tuseme gari imepewa CRSP ya 5 million. If you are depreciating it for na 70%, it means the custom value will be 30% of 5 million.
Which is around 1.5.
30% of 5 million, hiyo ni 1.5, ndio? So tutatumia custom value ya 1.5. So if that depreciation imereduziwa na 5%, it means the custom value it increased around 250k.
Wow.
250k increase in custom value is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money because that I might put it out of your budget as a buyer.
Yeah, inakuwa tricky. So such increments zenye zinafanywa na gava na zinagazetiwa, the client may understand. But now we have the internal ones that are done zenye nobody knows. Hizo it's upon the importer to follow.
Which is crazy, but ni sawa tu.
Yeah, it's crazy. You try to do what you have to do.
You have to do what you have to do. So, what's the most? I want to ask a little bit of fun questions as we bring this to a close. What's the most expensive car you've sold?
There are several. I've sold a Land Cruiser V8.
Kunauzia nani?
Niliuzia jamaa fulani wa Mombasa. Na funny story, I've never met him up to date.
What do you mean?
Yes, that guy paid money. He told me I've been following your page. Akiwa Mombasa akatuma pesa. Gari kafika. You know, for him, by the time I was importing that car, I had someone at Mombasa when I would trust with everything, handling of the car, paying of duty, even driving the car to Nairobi. So, because the customer was in Mombasa, the car was cleared in Mombasa
and delivered to the client, and you've never met him.
And delivered.
How crazy!
I've never met him.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What's your dream car?
My dream car.
Oh, you already have it.
Not yet.
It's coming.
G-Wagon.
A G-Wagon.
Yes. I have a model of the G-Wagon on my car.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Unakuwaga nayo on your desk, on your office desk, and then in your car, in your current car as well. You have a model car, a toy model car of a G-Wagon. That's true. That's powerful. That's powerful. What's the one thing that you do not mind spending money on? Like this one, like anything that you can spend. You don't overthink it. You just spend.
That will be family.
Family.
Anything to do with family, yes.
You will spend money.
Anything that will make my family comfortable. I don't think twice.
Nice. Lastly, if you could meet one person from history, who would it be? And why?
From history. Who will be that? Actually, the person that I think most of meeting is not from history. It's someone ako kwa field yetu ya magari. Yeah, it's a car dealer.
Who is this?
Actually, si mmoja, several. The first one is hata niwape shout out. I like the business model ya Maridadi.
Oh, Maridadi Motors,
Grande Motors.
Mm-hmm.
I really fancy having a conversation with him
Mm-hmm.
on how he began his business, because
Mm-hmm.
he's a pioneer in
Yeah, he is. He's built out a very
in the
strong brand.
business.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's a pioneer,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was going through his story,
Mm-hmm.
when he was beginning Maridadi,
Mm-hmm.
there were no dealers on Kiambu Road.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
The other person that I would like to meet is a young blood,
Mm-hmm.
a very young guy,
Mm-hmm.
Cairo, of course.
You see, you were the one of the first people to tell me you admire Cairo when you were still doing Imports by Cairo. I remember you telling me to check out
Yes.
that page. So you had identified. So what do you like most about Cairo?
Cairo is a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he puts in work.
Mm,
He's so passionate
very.
about cars and
Mm.
recently about planes.
Planes, yeah.
He's very young, by the way.
Yeah, I think he's
Na
26 or
niliona
something.
when he's 26, yes.
Mm,
We began same time,
mm,
though he was doing his business full time. Mi nilianza
mm,
tu nikifanya vitu zingine kando kando.
mm,
He began Imports by Cairo, same period with Grande Motor Imports.
mm,
And I like how he does his job.
mm,
He's a hard worker.
mm.
He dreams big.
Yeah, he's a dreamer.
Hii ameanza nini ya kuimport madege,
Yeah, I saw the
and
office.
you may see as if it's impossible.
Oh yeah, because
Do you know
it sounds
akaleta gari?
lofty. It sounds crazy to me, man.
Yes, it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but I'm sure soon
Mm-hmm.
he'll deliver a plane or a chopper. I'm sure he will.
And
Hiyo
he's
hiyo hiyo kujichocha, hiyo nini ndio
and he
napenda
yeah
about him.
he knows how to draw attention to his business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he likes drawing attention to himself, and
Mm,
he uses that attention. Si ile
mm.
clout mtu ana chase just for the
For
sake of it,
nothing. He has something he's actually
not
selling.
for nothing.
Mm.
He uses that to push his sales.
Yeah, manze.
He
Ukijuana na
pushes
wao
his
manze,
sales.
look me up to invite kwa podcast pia watufunze a thing or two about business.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
So thank you so much
Hao
for
ni wazito wa nini,
yeah, wazito
wa
wa
industry
hiyo
yetu.
biashara yenyu. And you guys are building an industry. Actually, you guys are actually building an industry. And you're actually doing something.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
All right. Thank you.
So, parting shot. Maybe say something to somebody who's just beginning. Somebody who's dreaming of owning their own business. Somebody who's dreaming about being their own boss. Somebody who wants to make something about of their life. Just parting shot for them.
What I can tell such a person is just start
Mm,
from anywhere. Don't wait until you are ready. You'll never be ready. Just start from
Just start
where you are, answer to, and
first.
don't despise those humble beginnings. That's how you go learning. You begin somewhere, you keep on learning, and you keep on improving. In that business that you want to start small. Hata saa zingine ukianzanga up there, you miss so many lessons that you have learned huku chini. There are lessons that I learned when I was starting zinanisaidia saa hii zenye kama ningeanza, let's say ningeanza nikileta gari 40, it would be so hard
for
manage.
you to manage.
Yes. Yeah, but now because I started somewhere very small, I kept on growing, knowing my way around, and that is how you keep growing your company. So just start. You don't have to figure out kila kitu uko mbele. You
Nice.
figure out things as you move.
Nice. Well said. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much. And maybe we'll call you back here when you're selling 200 cars a year.
Very soon.
Very
Very soon.
soon. Very soon.
I look forward very soon.
Mm,
I
mm,
believe the sky is the limit. If you
mm,
keep doing what you do, and
mm.
holding all other things constant, utapata una improve.
Ah,
So long
thank you.
as you keep putting in the work, to improve.
Thank you. Asante sana.
Karibu.